What's going on, guys? So today we're going to be covering Suzuka. This is a highly requested track from some of you guys. And I figured, you know what? I'm going to stay home on New Year's Eve and I'm going to make this video. I haven't done a guide in a while and I think it's time to do it. We're going to start the new year off with me doing a guide video. So that sounds good to me. And before I get started, guys, I wanted to say thank you so much for everyone who joined the live stream and watched the stream yesterday. It was so much fun. Playing with my new wheel that I got and seeing everybody, and it was great. I mean, last night was a lot of fun. That was the most likes I've ever gotten on stream, the most activity. It was a blast. It really, really was. And I want to say thank you to everyone who's been watching the videos, and I'm happy that a lot of you have messaged me and said, you know, thanks for the guides and helping and all that stuff. And it really means a lot to me that I've been teaching people along the way, you know, to become a little bit better and enjoy the game a little bit more. And that's really all I'm trying to do, is just help you get better and enjoy the game. You know, we're all going to get frustrated. It does happen. You know, you get rammed off the road. You know, you can't really help it. But I'm here to kind of bring a little bit of peace if I can, and try to make you as good as possible, and hopefully you can have some fun along the way. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and get started. I just want to say thank you to all of you, and we're going to get started with this guide now. So, all right. So this is kind of a tricky course, okay? So we're going to start after the straight here. And the reason why it's tricky is because, first of all, this turn up here, everybody messes up, or at least a lot of beginners mess up. It's kind of hard, right? It's kind of a hard track that you're used to. So now you see that 50 right there, right where that 50 is, the 50 meters. I brake slightly before that 50. I kind of use that as a guide. Now some cars are going to be different. You know, some cars you might have to brake a little bit earlier than that. But right around the 50, right around this mark, a little bit before, that's when I brake. Now here is the key of Suzuka. Okay, this is really the key. And you have to remember this. What you're trying to do on this turn, you're going really, really fast, and you're not hard braking here, okay? What you're doing is you're coming in at a really, really high rate of speed, and then you're kind of giving it about half brake, and then you're kind of slowing down. There's no gas here. You're using all the speed that you've gathered, and you're kind of going about half throttle, all here, going this direction, and then you want to stay, come in here, keep braking, and then you want to make your way into the inside right here where that little green strip is. You see that green strip? That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to make your way to that green strip right there. So if you do that, if you make your way right there on the inside, you're going to get a nice acceleration right after this turn. So come to the inside, as soon as you get about right here, then you're going to want to accelerate out wide this way. So basically what you're trying to do, you're trying to go wide, come to the inside, just brake slowly, and then accelerate off of that. You should have enough speed and be able to practice enough to where you can carry tons of speed and come through that really fast. If you're kind of like giving it gas and braking and giving it gas and braking and doing all this crazy stuff, you're going to mess that turn up. And it's also going to cause people to ram you from the back because you're not taking it properly. So come in at a really, really high rate of speed, slow down about 50%, and I'll show you how to do it. I'm going to go around the track and do it. Slow down gradually, and then just go to the outside, to the inside, and I'll show you guys how to do that. From there, you're going to come wide here, and then you're going to come to this inside part right here. See where the green is? Always follow those little green markers. Inside there, inside here, and you want to try to end up about right here. So this way you can come in and take this turn. You see these little green strips there again? Right here. These green strips are key. Nobody runs over these. You can run over those. Just look at those and use them as a guide and just run right over those green strips and get more speed to come here, to come this way, and then stay on this inside. Stay right here as close as you can. The reason why you want to be close to this inside is because you want to be about right here so you can get a high rate of speed and come in this way. Now when you come into this, for GR3 at least, most cars can't take this full throttle. So what you do is you come in as fast as you can, and then as soon as you kind of start it, you let off a little bit, you feather it, and then the car's going to start going really, really, really wide, and then you should be able to go full throttle. So be careful. This is a tricky turn. You want to stay to the inside as much as possible, and then let off slightly, about 50%, not full. Never let off full. You never have to let off the throttle completely going through this turn. You're just going to kind of gradually go, lift a little bit, lift about 50%, and then when you feel the car's ready and you're not going to, understeer to the grass, that's when you're going to go full throttle, okay? So, and I'll show you on the next lap. From there, you want to stay on this side, stay on the left, and what I do is right before this 50 right here, kind of right before this 50, that's when I kind of brake and downshift, run over the strips. Once again, those little green marks, run over those strips, come to this side right here. Sometimes I run over this like this, and I don't like this turn personally. This is a turn for me that I actually really struggle with, is this turn. So what you want to really try to do is brake right there, right? Brake and then downshift and kind of gradually go in here like this, just like that, and come this way. I tend to go a little bit wide sometimes going like that, and I hate it. I don't mean to do that, but you got to be really careful on that turn because you can easily go into the grass with that turn. So here, little trick right here. What I do for this turn right here, you see the end of that strip right there? Do you see that? See that little strip? Check this out. Okay, right there, the end of that mark, that little red, the curb right there, I brake right after that. I use that as a personal guide for myself. So as soon as you see the end of that strip, maybe slightly after, maybe like, 0.2 seconds, like right after that, that's when I brake. Depending on the car, sometimes it's slightly later, but I use that little mark at the end of that curb. I use that as a personal guide to know that, hey, my braking point's coming up, so this way I don't overshoot it. So that's a little tip right there when to brake. When you come right here, you want to stay wide right here, and then while you're braking, you want to try to come to the inside in a perfect world and come this way and then floor it out like that. It's very hard to do that. I know it's kind of tricky. Feathering the throttle is really, really important there, depending on the car that you have, and you do not want to get on the gas while the car is sideways. In GR3 especially, if you're not running traction control, if you're going sideways on that turn and you go full throttle while the car's sideways, you're going to spin out. So just take it easy coming out of that exit. So here, you're going to stay to the right side here. So what I do, I kind of ignore that meter marker right there because I go further. So right there, you see that little gray strip right there of road? I brake actually right around there. That's kind of like my braking point, is that gray strip. Only reason why, I don't know, I feel like 100's not good enough. So like once I see that gray strip right there, that's when I kind of slow down. I'll downshift, 1 or 2 gears, then come straight to the inside. As soon as I get right here, I'll floor it again to go towards this curb. And once I hit about this angle right here, see the end of the curb right there? You can see like the end. Right before that, I'll like brake and then kind of glide to the inside. You're gonna kind of glide here, stay this inside as close as you possibly can. Give it about 30-40% throttle, gradually go, and then floor it, and then get a hit down this strip. That's kind of how you want to take that. All about being smooth. This turn up here, a lot of cars can take it full throttle. This isn't really too hard. So you just want to be as wide as possible. And once you see that 50 right there, you just want to kind of come in, lift. What I usually do is just lift my foot off the throttle and then just turn into that curb and have your 2 tires kind of run past that curb, and then you can take it at a really, really high speed. I'm going to be going around doing this in real time so you can see. This right here, I use that 100 meters. That's why I brake. Right before 100, boom, slam on my brakes right there. And then you're just going to, stop right there at the 100 meters, slow down. First gear, I come here. And what I try to do is run over these 2 like this. Then you get a straight right here, run over it like this, and then full throttle out just like that. That's kind of your goal. And I know that's hard when you're mid-race, but if you follow that track line, you can definitely hit a 159. 159, you can be consistent with that. It's hard to do it. So anyway, this is what I'm talking about with this turn. So you see the 50 right there? Slowing down, slowing down, slowing down. See, I didn't even hit the gas there. I just slowed down. Now I'm getting on the throttle. Could have gone a little bit earlier there, but that's kind of how you do it. So right here, letting off, downshift, so I can stay that inside like I was telling you. Full throttle. Let off right here, so I'm trying to run over those strips. Stay this inside. Stay this inside. See, I have to let off to kind of keep it there. See, I'm letting off the throttle, full throttle. I'm fighting it. See, I could have gotten on a little bit earlier. I wasn't wide enough. Brake, downshift, floor it here. Downshift, take this turn. There we go. Remember that braking point I'm telling you about right here? Right after that. See that right? Just come to the inside. Floor it. Wasn't the best, but we'll deal with it. Here we go. I'm going to stay on that right side. Remember that strip I told you about? Coming up here. There's a strip. Slow down. As soon as I get here, kind of floor it. Brake. Stay the inside. Quarter throttle. Floor it. Just like that. You could do it better, but kind of getting the idea. Here I'm going to lift slightly. Okay? If you cut in right, you don't even have to lift. But I lift a little bit and then full throttle. Just so I don't like kind of understeer out. There's the 100 brake. Downshift. Ooh, it's close. There we go. And we got 159. 159.7. Not bad, not bad. Not bad for like talking and doing it. But anyway, that's kind of a general idea how you do that. And you can definitely, I mean, you can get I'm pretty good with the vet. I like the vet. Usually I can do about 159 with the vet, but you can take that line with all the cars. I mean, I used the 911 for FIA and it was 100% fine. There was nothing I really like the 911. So that's just a good guide on how to take this. And what you really have to remember, what really makes this track hard is this turn right here. It's this. This always gets people. You just got to go fast, downshift, downshift. See, that wasn't even as good as last time. That's all. You just got to keep practicing that. Coming this inside, let off here. Now right here, do you see how I downshifted right here? You don't have to do that, okay? Right there when I just took that turn, and then I just downshifted like that, that's kind of a personal preference for me. The reason why I'm doing that is because when I downshift, it makes me know that I'm technically going slower than I could. So if I was really trying to set a fast lap, like let's say I was trying to push for a 158, right? I would have stayed in third going through there because I would have gained a lot more speed. I could have guided a little bit more. But when I downshift in second, I can kind of hug the corners a little bit better, and that's why I downshift. I downshift there so I can stay a little bit tighter and keep my line. So that's really that's why you see me downshift whenever I go through that. But remember, not all cars are going to be able to do that. I do that with the Porsche. So with the Porsche, I'm actually going through these turns in second gear, and I'm pretty much maxing out the rev limiter on this. But I mean, that's pretty much it, guys. This isn't that hard of a track. It's not that bad once you get used to it. You just have to keep trying it over and over again and getting it. And before I'm done, I'm gonna give you guys some quick advice. There was one of my subscribers, I'm not sure what the name was, but somebody asked me to kind of give my opinion on how to get off of traction control and start using no traction control, using no TCS. How do you drive without spinning out? Well, like my only tip for that, for whoever was that asked that, the tip about traction control, there's not really an answer of what you can do, like how can you improve on that. Basically, the biggest problem is that people have when they're not using traction control is out of exit, right? So like when you're at a slow speed, they just kind of like floor it right away and they get sideways. The biggest thing that's going to help you is when you're driving, you have to keep in mind, even with the controller too, doesn't matter if you have a controller or whatever, you can't just floor it all the time out of turns. You have to. You can watch my throttle, and if you watch back on the lap, I always have a little bit of gas. So there's a little bit of gas here, see? A little bit, and then I go. I don't just floor it, because if you just floor the car, that's when you're going to mess up. You have to practice on being a little bit smoother. So you have to kind of go slow. Don't go around the turn and then just kind of floor it. You don't want to do that. You don't want to floor it. You want to coast, give it about a quarter throttle and then smooth, gradually get into it. So this way the car doesn't, it's just like a real car in real life. If you're driving like a Camaro SS and you don't have traction control on, you're coming around, a turn and you floor it, the whole back end's going to get sideways. You have to be easy. Make sure you're straight. If you're using a wheel, make sure your wheel is straight before you get on it. And eventually, when you get a little bit better, you'll be able to floor it sooner. And when the car gets sideways, you'll be able to kind of, counter steer it and then kind of, slide out and then guide it and get even faster times. But when you're first starting, just make sure that your car is straight before you're getting on it full throttle. If you're not centered yet, just kind of give it about 25, 50, 70, 75% throttle and then ease your way into it. At first, it may seem a little bit slower, but as you improve and as you keep doing it, I promise you will be faster. TCS is definitely not faster than not using traction control. You really want to try to avoid using traction control at all costs if you can. But anyway, I don't want to tie you guys up anymore. I'm sorry for keeping you. Happy New Year to everybody. It is New Year right now. At least it's going to be in like an hour or so. I just wanted to make this video, and I hope to see you guys soon. I hope you got something out of this video, and thank you again, everybody, for my last stream. It was so much fun. I'll be making more of these guides soon, and I hope to see you guys in the next stream. You guys have a good one. Happy New Year, guys. See ya.